More than 1 billion phones around the world use Android, but how much do you know about it? Fact number 1. Android was not created by Google. In 2003, Android Inc. was born to develop a mobile OS destined to cameras, given the huge popularity of digital cameras those days. However, the company's founder was not Google, but Andy Rubin, a New Yorker engineer who, incidentally, had previously worked for Apple. The company was then bought by Google in 2005, and the rest, as they say, is history. What's surprising though is that, according to Google itself, they bought the company not for their product, but for their talented workers. Turns out they placed a good bet anyway. Fact number 2. Android is the most popular mobile OS in the world. In 2013, Google announced its mobile OS had reached 1 billion phones worldwide. In 2014, that number had grown to 1.6 billion, with an overwhelming 75% share among the smartphones worldwide. While those numbers surely hide Android's fragmentation and the increasing amount of manufacturers that ship their phones with customized versions of Android, that is truly impressive anyway. Fact number 3. Android is an open source system. If that doesn't make sense to you, here's a quick explanation. Android shares the essentials of the operating system created by Linus Torvalds and tons of others born more than 20 years ago. It is open source in the sense that its source code, just like its forefathers, is free to use for developers, and it is collected within the Android Open Source Project or AOSP. That makes possible all of the custom ROMs that Android users are used to, and the iOS users are likely not to ever have. Fact number 4. The first Android phone came out 7 years ago. In 2008, HTC released what was going to be the first Android handset ever, the HTC Dream, which shipped with Android 1.1 on board. It featured a slide-up screen and a physical keyboard, a 32x480 TFT display, a 1150 mAh battery, and a whopping 528 MHz processor. It's amazing how far we've come to these days. However, there were some other prototypes before the HTC Dream, but unsurprisingly enough they all looked like Blackberries. Fact number 5. Android versions have desert-themed names. While you may know that all of the latest Android versions are named after a dessert of some kind, you may not know that the first ones were not. In fact, the first publicly nicknamed version of Android was 1.5 Cupcake. The 9 subsequent releases were Donut, Eclair, Froyo, Gingerbread, Honeycomb, Ice Cream Sandwich, Jelly Bean, Kit Kat and Lollipop. Each one of these has a dedicated statue at the Googleplex, so if you happen to visit them, be sure to take a snap. Among all of these, there was one which never reached phones, Honeycomb. That specific version, Android 3.0, was entirely designed to bring a better experience to Android tablets, which were having a bad time because of the iPad. By the way, if you missed that, Google just announced Android M, but the official nickname has yet to be unveiled.